So while some among us enjoy a comfortable life, sleeping in a warm bed, taking hot showers and enjoying plenty of food, there are billions around the world who don't share these luxuries. Today we think of those who have less, who are forced to sleep on the streets and have lost hope as we mark World Homeless Day. Deputy Chairperson of the Tshwane Homeless Forum, Moimane, joins me now to discuss this along with strides being made in addressing these concerns. Good afternoon, Mr. Moimane. I've got to thank you for your time. So a day such as this one, how important is it in centering conversations around homelessness and its causes in South Africa?
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the listeners. I think it's a very sad day because we are in a situation where now we need to stay away on normalizing issues of homelessness. It's not necessarily something that we celebrate. We are commemorating and even ourselves noticing what is happening in our own space. So that's what we are doing today. And it's very sad because of it goes with a lot of emotions. When asked to speak about this day, you can't even have an appetite to speak about it, because every time when we are on the street, we see these people. You go to a comfort home, and you left somebody in the street. So that's why we are preaching the issue of the pathways. That's Tshwane Homeless Forum with our social partners, with the NGOs that. We need two pathways. That's why now we're embarking on the issue of a homeless count in the city of Tshwane. Today we're in Tshwane saying that we are launching a street count. In that street count, we want to understand how many people are we having in the city of Tshwane who are homeless, so that when we advise the government and let's budget, we budget based on the information that we have. And we want to thank the MMC for Social Development, MMC Peggy De Beer. She came and listened to us, and she promised the support to be behind us while we are dealing with the issue of pathways. Yeah.
So just in terms of elevating the issues and shining the spotlight on the issues, Mr. Moimane, does a day such as this one help in any way? In that, does it serve to bring to the surface and focus on issues that then translate to policies being adopted at local government level, at national and provincial level? Do you see follow through is what I'm asking? Or is it a day when, all of a sudden develop a conscience that says, while I'm sitting comfortably, there are people who are homeless, and by tomorrow I've forgotten and I've moved on?
Look, for me is that there have been a lot of political statements. Whether some we agree with them, some we don't agree with them. I recently that the newly elected Premier of Gauteng made a pronouncement that he's going to deal with the issue of homelessness. We cannot normalize such a thing. One, I agree with him. He said that as government, we must make sure that we take the lead in these things. We cannot succumb our people to base, because some of the things that through those things people they find themselves in the street. What I do not agree with is the statement of saying that the NGOs have failed. That's why the situation is still perpetuating or still continuing. I still want to find a point where he can come and just show us the tool of analysis that he used to say that the NGOs have failed, because stripes have been made. We are not preaching that people must remain in the street, the conditions must be the same. We are preaching pathways. Why we are preaching pathways? We are saying that we want transitional shelters. These people must be in a shelter, move and unite with the family, or get an alternative accommodation. We are preaching the issue of social housing. So yes, we believe that if we cannot just speak as politicians, but make sure that we deliver in what we are saying.
And what has been the impact of COVID-19 in as far as the homelessness situation is concerned? I remember vividly in the early days of the pandemic how suddenly there was a focus on the issue and what would happen as the country went into lockdown with people who are homeless. I'm just wondering if it served as some kind of a slingshot in as far as issues of policy are concerned, to say now that we've seen the depths of homelessness, well, we've at least gotten a glimpse of the depths of homelessness, we can deal with the issue differently in as far as policy is concerned. But also I'm just wondering about people having lost their means of livelihood, whether that has had an impact on homelessness.
Thank you very much for that question. I think you've touched a very sensitive issue on the issue of what COVID has done. COVID has increased the number of people that are homelessness. And the two is not only attacked the people that were already in the street, it's attacked people that have got skills, academics, the issue of mental health because of COVID, being in the hard lockdown, losing a job. You now have people now who are in the street, not because of they wanted to be on the street, they're even job seekers. When we embark on the issue of this county, one of the arguments that we raise is to saying that it may happen after doing the street count, we may find that we don't necessarily have homeless people, but we have job seekers that across, particularly in the inner city. They come to the inner city seeking for employment, and they cannot be able to go back to home and make sure that they come and crisscross the city in and out. So COVID has made a serious impact.
All right, so hopefully days like these do serve to conscientize South Africans and to really, energize the conversation, particularly at a policy level, at the level at which cities, local government and national and provincial departments engage with this problem of homelessness. I've got to thank you for your time. That's Sam Moimane, who is from the Tshwane Homeless Forum, where he is Deputy Chairperson, in conversation with me there. And that will do it from me for today, but stay with us because more quality news and current affairs programming still to come throughout the evening.